either folding and twisting, kind of the same way that you would if you were throttling a motorcycle, adding a little bit of tension to the leg, and then bring your elbows to the inside. This kind of pistol grip, and you can see that there's so much more tension now in the leg. Any movement that I make is now amplified. There are a lot of different ways of going about doing a Toreando pass. When you're first taught, you're usually taught something like this. Get a grip on your partner's pants, hold the pants, create an angle, move around your partner's body, start to look to drop your hip or look to go knee on belly. This is all fine and good, but when you start to get with somebody who knows what they're doing on the ground and they have some flexibility and they have some sense of how to pummel their legs, even though you have a grip on the legs and you have a grip on the pants, oftentimes there's so much slack that you're not really able to control what your partner does with their legs. So I'll give you an example. Let's say we come forward, he's down, I'm gonna get my grips here on the inside of my partner's legs. I'm just gonna get a kind of a fistful of gi pant, and I'm gonna start to create the angle. What's the first thing that happens? Usually the first thing that happens is, as you get out to a position like this, your partner starts to pummel the leg. They take the leg to the inside position, okay? And if you look, nothing's happened differently with my grips. I started off with the grips, I still have them, but now he has this inside position. What's going on? Well, what's going on is that even though we have grips on our partner's pants, we haven't done a good enough job of taking the slack out of the pant. When you're able to get the slack out of the pant, and oftentimes that involves you getting your initial grip and then creating some kind of tightening force, like a rotation, for instance, like this. Sometimes you can get a pocket grip on your partner's pants, but you can see in the case of either a grip where we control the knee and then we gather up additional fabric and fold, or we take a pocket grip, either this way or this way, and we really gather up the uniform, you can see, just bend your leg a little bit here, you can see that there's all this tension, like when we get this grip, there's like these folds in the gi that occur, and this is the slack coming out of the pants, okay? And when you start to do this, you have a much better control over your partner's legs. So when we come forward and we get our initial grip, you can immediately improve your ability to control your partner by taking an initial grip and then really just either folding and twisting, kind of the same way that you would if you were throttling a motorcycle, and adding a little bit of tension to the legs, and then bring your elbows to the inside, okay? Or you can take an alternative grip like this pocket grip where you're able to really gather up the fabric in the fist of your hand so that your partner's leg is well controlled. Now when he goes to pummel his leg, you're able to follow and track much more easily than you would if you were just holding loosely. Now when I'm holding, even though the grip is good at the hand, there's nothing going on to control his leg. When we get our grips, we want to make sure that it's a meaningful grip, right? We have a throttle and a good control so that as he goes to pummel, we can now use our elbows. We can look to start to misdirect. And there's much less additional extra movement in the jacket, not in the jacket, but in the pants here. The same thing is true if you're holding down low. One of the other things is, when people start to do leg drags, they just get this kind of loose grip on the leg. If Sensei keeps his leg in nice and tight here, when I go to drag, it's a little bit difficult. So how can we improve this? Well, we can take a little bit of a firmer grip. We can also take this kind of pistol grip, and you can see that there's so much more tension now in the leg that anything I do to start to redirect, there's a little bit of, it's a much more efficient grip, right? There's much less lost in what's going on. So if we're playing here and I want a leg drag and I take a loose grip and I'm trying to pull, so much of the fabric is moving without moving his leg. We want to get a grip, either a pistol grip, or if we are going to get this grip, we're going to make sure it's a really strong one where we're really controlling a lot of the pants, a lot of the fabric. As he goes to start to move from here, any movement that I make is now amplified because we've got that tension in the pants that we didn't have before. So whenever you're down and you're passing, or you're on top rather, and you're looking to pass, make sure that when you get a grip, whether it's on the outside or it's on the inside, that it's not just a whatever you can get grip. Put the hands on, gather up something. Instead, it's a grip that's meaningful. It has a pocket where you have the ability to take the slack out of the pants here, or if it's on the inside, you're getting a version of a Toreando grip where you can throttle the legs and really control your partner through this fabric, through the tension in the fabric. All of these sorts of things are going to make a huge difference. Anything to add?
No. Well, maybe.
Go ahead.
These pants are very baggy.
Right.
So you have to actually...
I got a little bit of a harder job with this, but
yeah.
But yes, the idea is that when you're standing, it's the same thing. When you're on the ground, it's the same thing. You have to take the slack out of the gi, otherwise you're going to have very inefficient movements, and it's going to be very explode. Like you're gonna have to rely on being explosive, being more powerful, being stronger, instead of the idea of transferring more of your power to your partner. And then out of this position, everything else you do is gonna get magnified. All the directional changes, all the sidestepping, all the movement, it's gonna become a little bit more effective, a little more efficient for you. And that's the goal, that's the name of the game. All right, so.
Great tips, Sensei.
Thank you. So anything that you want to know about gripping the sleeve, we have another video down there. Sensei covered a bunch of things like this. If you have questions, let us know. Please put your comments down below. We have other links down there for you to check out if you have questions. Thanks. See you soon.
Thank you.